Hey, we are live. Hello, everybody. I know a lot of you cannot sleep getting ready for tonight to have Yoni and Tony talking to you tonight. What's up, Yoni? How are you?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. It's Wednesday, it's hump day, and a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, so are
Getting
you?
real busy with a lot of things here.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, I'm in all the feeds and I see all the great stuff that's happening with MWR Life, which, for those that don't know, this is Yoni. He's the founder, CEO, the visionary behind MWR Life, which, by the way, is the premier travel and lifestyle platform in the world. I'm going to say that right now. I don't know if that's in any of your documentation or anything, but it is the premier travel and lifestyle club in the world. How's that feel?
It feels normal to me. That's what we are. That's what we do.
I know. I wanted to do something different tonight. Everything is this is not scripted. This is just me and you talking. I know that when I met you, gosh, a month and a half ago, maybe something like that, in Fort
Yep.
Lauderdale, you and I just hit it off good. We just started talking about music and life and family and everything but business. And that was such a breath of fresh air, right? And I enjoyed that conversation. My wife was just sitting back taking it all in, like, oh my gosh, look at these guys. So I want to first say thank you for the time, the friendship that we've developed over the last month and a half. I know you've been busy traveling the world. um, you truly are a world traveler, and I respect that a lot. I think you have the life that everybody wants, is to be able to travel everywhere. So let's just dive right into it. So can we talk about frequency tonight, like the energy of what this company, what travel does for people?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
A little bit,
I
a
mean, I
little bit
think
deeper
that's
than, like, oh, we've got 85% in our comp plan, and yeah, all that, which is great.
right.
But
Yeah.
when you and I were talking, we were talking about something much deeper, which is what kind of what travel does to people. And I guess the question I'm going to start with is, you are this brain that knows numbers and real estate and financing and all these things, and all of a sudden something happens and now you're way off in right field doing travel. So can you just kind of explain, like, what was going on in your life that you did? It's not even like a 360, it's like a 187. It's like a how do you
Yeah.
how do you go from that to being in the travel industry? Because there's a lot of us that are
Yeah.
kind of doing
Yeah.
travel for the first time.
So it's interesting, Tony. You mentioned frequency, and that can mean a lot of things to different people, right? Or different
Yeah.
things to different people or different contexts. But it was very much that, I believe in belief, right? So when you believe something, because you're feeling the energy, you're feeling the vibe, frequency, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
the gut feeling, um, you move on it, right? So I've always kind of been driven by that, even though I'm pretty analytical.
Yeah.
In one sense, I study numbers, I analyze, uh, but I would say when it comes to making decisions, I make them on. I hate to use the word impulse, but it's the word. I've made plenty of decisions on impulse because they felt right. Um, and I guess the moment, in thinking about why we pivoted 100% to travel, it happened very, very quickly. So, like I just said, so we had introduced a third party travel benefit. It was decent, had some decent savings. It was only very basic savings on limited hotels. And as that was happening, a couple of weeks into that, I'm like, gosh, this is more than just another benefit. This is, I thought about my own life, being born in the Middle East, growing up in Canada, studying in Europe, living in Latin America, which is where I got married. That's where I started my first business. And then moving to America, baby, Miami
Yeah.
Vice, that brought me here to Miami, the land of opportunity. I said, gosh, I think without realizing it, without verbalizing it, I love to travel. I love to see. I love to explore. And at that moment, you never want to, by the way, launch a company for you as the customer. That's probably not the best rule of thumb. But that's what happened at the moment. I'm like, wait, I love to travel. That's what I've done. unbeknownst to me, unintentionally, and this is how I've grown. And at that minute, I put that thought, that self-realization together with, hey, we have this mediocre product. Let's make it kick-ass and world-class and best in class, because that's one of the few things that got hammered in me in business school is if you're going to do it, be best in class. There's a concept they talked about in entrepreneurship, and that's how it happened. It was quick, and it was vibe, feelings, self-reflection, and with a vision to the future of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because there's a lot of us that are watching this. Like, I was always in the health and wellness space, right? So I'm in that space, and all of a sudden, it's a hard right for me to go to talk to travel. I'm sure there's a lot of people that in that same spot, but it just like you said, there's an energy, there's a feeling, there's a vibe there, and obviously you love to travel. I don't know if you can remember this, but last month you went on a vacation slash business with your family,
Yeah.
and you went a bunch of different places. I just want people to be in awe of kind of like this passion that you have, this frequency that you're in, and you're sharing it with your family, and it's you're a product of your product. But can you share with us like where you've been just in the last month? Because
Yeah.
I had to block you because I didn't want to see your stuff anymore. I'm like, look at this guy. Where's he at now? Like I
It
had to
was a
block
lot.
you.
It was a
I
lot of
blocked you.
traveling.
I blocked you for 30 days, but you're back now.
Yeah, we're back. We're traveling again soon. No, but kids were off school. We travel all the time, Tony, between leisure, between business. Obviously, being the CEO of this company takes me to a lot of places all over the world. But we said, hey, we've never been to Japan, so let's start with Japan.
Yeah, okay.
So we did Japan, which was really cool. Started with Tokyo, then we did Kyoto, Mount Fuji, Osaka. Japan's really, really cool. I mean, a big, big cultural eye-opening.
Mm.
In addition to that, I met a couple of leaders there as well, prospective leaders that have since launched. So that's cool. So props to them if they ever see this, if they see this conversation.
Yeah.
So we did Japan, and then we followed that up with the Swiss Alps. So Tokyo had to. So one of the criteria was, of course, we live in South Florida. Let's not spend too much time in airplanes. So they had a direct flight to Zurich from Tokyo. So we did the Alps, which was really, really cool. The German side of Switzerland, starting with Zurich. Then we did Lucerne, which is beautiful. We've got to do a life experience there.
Okay.
Guys, pay notice. Nuno, if you're watching, pay notice.
Okay.
Lucerne is magical. It's on a beautiful lake. Famous hotel on the other side of the lake called Birkenstock, which is really, really amazing. So we did Lucerne, Interlaken, everybody's paragliding. It's cool. People up in the air. It's wild. So that was a lot of fun. I love to eat. I love cuisine. I love exploring, experimenting with food. So it was really cool. Very multicultural with Switzerland, more than I imagined. So a lot of really cool, different international cuisines. After that, we then drove to Geneva through the Valley of the Joux, which is a beautiful region in Switzerland between the German and the French side.
Okay.
And then flew to Puglia, which is on the Adriatic coast of Italy. Puglia.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome place. If you haven't been there, you've got to go. Awesome place. I know this is cliche, but the pasta there, man, it's a different pasta. It's not the same pasta. So it was really, really cool. And then, yeah, we finished off in the UK, in London, caught some shows in the West End, ate some food, met some friends, and then caught a direct flight back home. So it was about 6 weeks out and really cool, really diverse. Kids enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. And it was awesome.
Yeah. I always talk about travel heals the soul, right? So I can tell that, obviously that your family coming together, experiencing all that. I only can imagine. Did you take a lot of pictures? I saw a couple, but did you take like a bunch?
We took a lot. My wife's a family photographer and videographer, so
Okay.
she took a lot. What's cool about traveling as a family? We live in a pretty big house, spacious house. My daughters are probably 100 steps from me right now. I'd have to scream for them to hear me. So to be able to be sometimes in a joining room, sometimes in a room or a suite with a bed or a pull-out couch together for 6 weeks when we're not usually that intimate with each other all the time
Yeah.
is really cool. And you kind of rebond, reconnect with your family, which sounds crazy because it's your immediate family. But when you're together exploring in hotel from hotel, doing all the activities together. It's really, really cool. It's a great chance to connect and
I love
bond.
it. If you had a chance, like they said, okay, Yoni, you only can go one place,
Oh
right?
boy, you're not doing
Yeah.
this. You're not
Uh,
doing this to me,
no,
Tony.
no, I'm just curious because you've been all over the world, and I've seen a lot of it, but like you've been to some like epic places. So you have one place you get to
Oh
go,
gosh,
right?
that's so hard.
And what I mean is there something like, oh my God, there is no other place like this in the world. If uh, my on my deathbed, I've got to get there. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have a place like that? Have you even been there yet?
There's I've been to many places,
Yeah,
and asking me what my favorite place is like asking me who's my favorite kid.
yeah,
If I had 5 children,
yeah,
I really believe that different places have a different magic, have a different energy,
yeah,
frequency to them. Living in Central America, there's an energy. Forget the language, the food, the people. There's like an energy when
yeah,
you're in that place. You can feel the energy from the animals, even more than the people, right?
yeah,
I mean, I lived in Panama for several years. Panama's an isthmus connecting North and South America, which means every bird that migrates, birds migrate over land. We got all the birds in the world pretty much migrating over us. So you're seeing all these incredible species, like thousands and thousands of species. I mean, you feel something, right,
yeah,
from that. So, you know, and then you turn around and you go to the Balearic Islands in Spain, right? So we cruised in Spain not this summer, but last summer, um, between Mallorca and Ibiza and Formentera and all that stuff, and it's magical, man. And
yeah,
and one thing that speaks to me there is the serene beauty of the landscape. It's so amazing, and then the food, the fresh seafood, local caught Mediterranean. It's amazing, and the passion with which they create the food is so cool. So, I feel like what I love about travel, and that's why I hate to pigeonhole one place, Tony, is because I feel like wherever I've lived and where I've spent time
yeah,
traveling, it's as if I've lived several lives. I almost pity it. I feel bad for people that haven't seen the world. People that are just in that one town. Maybe they'll take one vacation a year to an all-inclusive on a beach somewhere that's very, no offense to those that love to do that, but it's very sort of monogenic, sort of just like a one thing. They don't really feel experience cultures. Whereas if you go to a culture, you dive into a culture, you experience, you mingle with the people, you learn some of the lingo, you eat the food, it's a different life. It's like you're born again in that environment. So that's what travel is to me. It's basically to help recreate experiences in all these different environments, and I think that's how I've definitely grown a lot from those experiences.
yeah.
To me, that's what travel's about.
Yeah. So with that being said, like how, and I get this question a lot, and I'm sure people that are watching this too, is like, how is MWR life being able to go on to places like that? Like some of the life experiences that we have, where you can go to Dubai for $600 or something. You use your points, or um, the what's the one in Italy, the Polagia? What is it?
Puglia, Puglia,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Like that one's back there too, and it's so inexpensive. I know you got a lot of buying power because you have a lot of members, but how do you go curate wholesale
Mhm.
these things that like travel agents can't even get? Like to me, that's like beautiful. I think it's such a wonderful selling point for our membership. And how do you do that without giving away
Well,
all your secrets?
yeah. So I mean, definitely buying power. You hit it. You hit one of the elements. There's a
Yeah,
lot of elements that go into it. Um, we spend a lot of resources as a company on the experience, the product, the membership, the service, right?
yeah,
So without getting into the nitty gritty, boring stuff, definitely buying power is one of them. Negotiating power is very, very strong. So we're able to negotiate block rooms, and oftentimes we guarantee, Tony. So we put our butts on the line and guarantee room nights with different properties, which in turn guarantees us or provides us much more powerful rates.
yeah,
Um, we have sophisticated algorithms on the back end. When you put out there, when you go search for a room anywhere in the world, we're not just accessing that room from one particular source. So whether it's the hotel directly through a direct connection, whether it's a channel manager, whether it's a consolidator, whether it's one of the many B2B platforms, a lot of folks don't know we partner with some of the biggest brands in the world, retail brands, who many of them have B2B brands. Some of them have similar situations where they've blocked out rooms as well. They've got to move the rooms. They're paying for them either way.
Yeah.
So if they've got to move the rooms, and we come in to be able to take over some of that inventory, and it's either they're losing what they have in it, or they're gonna share their wealth with us, so to speak. So, the same works for some of the properties you'll see on the resort section, which we're now rebranding to Getaways. Some of that inventory is actual timeshare inventory, right? So these are timeshare resorts where owners or timeshare participants have access to, but when they're not being used, they're not being used. The rooms are there, right? So if we're able to consume those rooms, I mean, some revenue is better than no revenue. So there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. It's a mix of many things. It's a mix of capitalizing tech to take advantage of these opportunities, of these, I guess you would call it, inefficiencies between supply and demand.
Yeah.
As well as buying power, as well as a few things we have up our sleeves, and then obviously we don't mark up pricing at all. So first of all, what we do is we do pass our wholesale rates, but we're able to beat that many times because of some of these things I'm touching on.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I love it. I know there's a whole team of people that probably, along with your technology, that can find these deals and then cultivate that and then post it. And I mean, it's like, I can't even imagine what that's like, man. Like seriously, that's like,
I wish I had a lot of time for naps throughout the day. It'd be nice. And it's not even physically tiring, but it's mentally draining because there's a lot and it's intense. And as we've touched on, we're working on some things that I can't reveal here, but we're working on some things that we're gonna reveal at our upcoming events that are major stuff. I can't say AI. I have touched on that.
Yeah.
They're related to AI, and they're gonna be absolutely crazy. Like we're really leveraging what's out there in a big way, Tony. It's not just, the trip planning stuff is cool, but this is going to be a lot more immersive and interaction based, and personalized.
Yeah.
So some really cool things.
Hold on one second. There's 100 and something people that are trying to see you right now, and I just want to make sure I got everything set up here. So
Sure.
it looks like I'm live. Everything looks good on my end, so I don't know what's going on, but we're rolling. Okay. All right, good. Okay. So you got a way to curate all these things, find these deals, make them available. I love the fact that you can find them, like these people that own timeshares. Like my sister, she's got a timeshare in Mexico, and every year she goes to the same place, like you were talking about. Every year she goes to the same place with her family, the same time. And God, there's just so much more to see in the world. There's so much more to see. So all right, let's talk about something else real quick. I know that, and thank goodness this didn't happen, that you were a world-class musician. Let's just call it what it is. You had a choice. Do I start the best travel company on the planet, or do I hit the road with a ukulele on my back and my guitar, and do I go play music? So let's talk about your music background, because that's where you and we have a common thread there.
Yeah. Well, I grew up, child of Eastern European parents. I don't know any kid that doesn't take music lessons growing up. So my brother started playing the piano in Oregon when I was probably 4 or 5. He was 4 years older. And then I started when I was about 7. Went to the Yamaha Music School in Toronto. Studied. It wasn't kind of the conservatory, but it was similar. They had their own program. And then went private. Then transitioned into some jazz and like blues and improvisational type stuff.
Okay.
Then I don't know. I always had a thing with rhythm. Tried out for the school, both the middle school and high school band, and I became the drummer. Never took drumming lessons, but they tested us on, and I just, it was just easy. Yeah, it was just easy. So
yeah,
I started drumming. Got a little. Didn't get horribly serious because my parents would not allow drums in the house. That was the only negative. I wanted drums. My dad said, "You're not getting drums." but drummed. And then for I think my 15th birthday, I got an acoustic guitar as a gift, and that became my baby. That became my passion. Because piano's cool. That's where I started. Drums are awesome, but the acoustic guitar, man, it goes with you. It goes everywhere you go with you. So
Yeah.
it became part of me. It became part of my identity for a minute, and that's all I did was play music, write music, perform, and yeah, music's a big part of my life. I'm actually trying to get a little more into it these days, Tony, but it's tough when you're building $1 billion business. It's not easy, but I am trying to get a little back into it. Fingers are a little rusty.
Yeah.
Calluses are still there, so that's good.
Oh yeah, I got those too. I got them too. Yep. Yeah.
But no, it's a big passion for me, and I look forward to getting a little bit more back into music and writing more. I enjoy writing music as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. How do you balance like everything as far as like family, music, hobbies, IT meetings? Like, I mean, how do you do it? Do you have like an assistant? You use AI, or
I do.
you're well
Uh,
organized? I know, but how do you
so
juggle everything?
I think to balance, you have to be very, very intentional.
Yeah.
It's not people. Oh man, he manages all these things. She manages all these things. Yeah, perhaps, but it's a very intentional process, and the more you have going on, the more intentional you have to be about it. I do have an assistant. She helps with many things.
Yep.
As a company, we have obviously a hierarchy of responsibilities. So I learned early on, Tony, is that you've got to be able to delegate responsibility, delegate ownership. Uh, we've got great people in our company to help with that.
Mhm.
It's not always easy relinquishing control, especially as a founder, especially when it's your baby. But that's the only way you grow. And this is something I actually learned from Warren Buffett of all people. One of his lines was, he knows nothing about his businesses. All he does is he meets with the CEOs of all the companies once a year and gets a report and trusts them because they're better than he is at running the business. So
Yeah.
I'd say I'd say that kind of struck a chord where, hey, why don't I get the best people that are best at what they do?
Mm.
I'm pretty good at many things. I'm probably the best at nothing, but I'm good at many things, and I might be the best at putting things together. Let's
Yeah.
say,
Okay.
like a general contractor, but don't ask me to do any of the specifics because I can't do it. And I think that's what happens, and then you have a little more balance, and then things get hectic again, and then you have to step out and say, okay, I'm doing a lot of things. I need to see how I can delegate or how I can be more concise or use leverage technology, leverage tools.
Yeah.
Um, and that's how you do it. But don't get me wrong, Tony. I work a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm still human. And there's weeks where I work more and I'm more tired. There's weeks where I'm more balanced. But for me personally, it's obviously family, work, health, fitness is a big one for me. I think it should be for all of us.
Yeah.
So you prioritize an hour to an hour and a half, 4 or 5 times a week on your health. I mean, that's all it takes, guys. So if you're not doing it, please do it
Yeah.
for your health and for your family's sake. But it'll make you a better person. It'll help you with your stress. It'll help you manage everything. It'll put things in perspective. And that's it, man. It's a constant journey to stay balanced.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So you do things like meditation and all that? I mean, is that part of when you're doing your personal regimen, your work on yourself? What are some of the things that you do to kind of?
Yeah. So I don't do meditation in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
I do yoga about once a week. So that's where it's not meditation, but that's where I work on my breathing and sort of being very present because you have no choice but to be present, and
Yeah.
that's what they teach you
Yeah.
beyond the physical. I'm also a cold plunge nut, Tony. I spend about 3 to 4 minutes a day in
Oh,
46-degree water. I love it, and those 3 to 4 minutes, again, they're not meditation in the traditional sense, but you have no choice but to be present,
yeah.
but to feel. You're forced to feel, and you train your nervous system not to respond.
Yeah.
And I think that training carries on to life situations and business situations. So, the instinct of us as humans and our neurology is anytime we have a shock to our system, we tense up, we have a flight or flight response, and we respond in a in a in a very sort of immediate way. Um, Emotional. There's an emotional response,
Hmm.
um, and there's a physiological response as well. So what it's done for me, and I love it, is the cold therapy has taught me, and it's not something you're consciously doing. You're subconsciously, your body gets used to that shock. So hey, we're in business. Life happens. There's shocks that happen in life. Your natural response gets a little bit more trained and mature. It's not so instinctive. And I think in business, whether it's in my position of running an organization, whether it's in your position
Hmm.
building an organization, we're going to have times where there are problems, where the response is, oh my gosh, we got to deal with this problem. So staying cool under pressure, staying calm, being able to think clearly is how you solve those problems. And anyway, the cold plunge helps a lot with that. There's a lot of physiological benefits as well, but yeah, that's one of the things I do. And general fitness. I play tennis. Try to go for walks, although it's 90 humidity here
Yeah.
and 90 degrees, so not the right time of the year right now in South Florida for walks.
Yeah. Well, I love the cold pledge thing is interesting because I do not like the cold. I live here in Nebraska. It's cold. So I've done the cold plunge but not part of my regimen, but the way you just defined what that does from a business perspective, right? That fight or flight mentality where you can actually have some control and be able to, not get overrun by feelings and emotions and all that. Like it's huge. I didn't even think of it like that. So I'm glad you shared that.
An instinct. Everything in that moment of your existence is telling you, get the hell out of this
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
And it's an extreme. It's almost a metaphor to those things. So anyway, it's helped me with that. It also feels good once you're out of there. You feel very accomplished,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, those are some
Good.
of the things I do from a self care perspective.
Okay. I mean, I don't have, I guess I have one more other question I guess I want to ask you is there's this whole, um, message that a lot of us bring to the world. Like my message is, mojo and helping people tap into the best version of themselves, right? Is there a message for you like when everything's long gone and you know we're, the legacy continues? Is there something like that you said, man, this is it. This is my footprint. This is what I came here to do.
Well, my message to people, and this was my sort of feeling for myself, and it comes from a selfish place. Let's start there. But I think before you can help others, you've got to help yourself, and you've got to be selfish. Uh, Selfish oftentimes has a negative connotation to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It depends in what context, right? But for me, it was, and I think this is what I tried. I mentor some people outside of MWR Life, Tony, just
Mhm.
younger people who are trying out in business. You give back through knowledge and guidance and listening and mentorship. And the biggest thing I would tell people and is that we have a limited time here on this planet, and one of the things that scared me more than anything was being trapped, right? Whatever that means. For me, it meant the regular 9 to 5 or 8 to 6
Mm.
job. It wasn't financial, right? Because I mean, I was on a good path to making a lot of money as an employee, but that scared the hell out of me because it wasn't the money, it was the freedom and the ability to just blaze my own trail, whatever that trail was. If I wanted to
Mm.
play music, if I wanted to go do Ninja Warrior stunts for 6 months and do that. It goes back to, again, to living multiple lives, because I just feel like our time here is so short. So it's like, why not go do ninja thing for 2 years? Why not go be a triathlon guy? Go learn the ukulele. Go do the more things, passions, hobbies we experience. I think the richer, not financially richer, but the richer our experience on this earth is. And then those same experiences that we've developed make us richer people, make us more well-rounded people, knowledgeable people, experienced people, maybe wise, that we can then give back to our kids, grandkids, younger versions of ourselves in their 20s who are trying to make it, trying to find their trail. So that kind of to me is what sort of the essence of what drives me.
Mm.
What drove me initially to pursue entrepreneurship is that freedom, and what drives me and what I'd want to see people pursue for themselves. Because I think the more people can grow in that manner, the more people will be just satisfied. First of all, in
Yeah.
life, I think a lot of people have angst and resentment just because they're not happy of where they are in life, and it's not always financial. And some people are less fortunate than others. That's out of their control. But the more that we can empower people by pursuing their passions and helping them grow in what fulfills them, I think that makes a better world, man. That makes less angry people, less upset people, less tolerable, more tolerable people, and people that can then pass on that energy frequency. Going back to the frequency feeling, it's
Yeah.
giving back. So that's kind of what, comes to mind when you ask that question.
Yeah, I'm like you too. I always make the comment, life is like a smorgasbord for me. Like I cannot, it's like I can't, I'm sitting there at the table and look at all the food, like I cannot get enough of it. And it's crazy, like every 7 years, like I'm completely reinvented, whether it would be a musician to a hypnotist to running a,
I think that's why you and I connected, man. It's like
yeah,
the more I learned about you
yeah,
within like that first 30 minutes, I'm like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
he's as nuts as I am.
yeah.
Because I have a lot of, nobody knows here, and I don't think you know, Tony, but I'm a pretty accomplished close up magician. I had my magician phase.
Oh my God.
And I say this humbly, but I mean, like, I could have been a pro. I'll say that.
Wow.
I
So a
could've-
world-class guitarist musician, a world-class magician. Yeah. So
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of coins around these
yeah,
days. Everything's card.
yeah,
But I
you
was
could do
big
it.
into coin magic and card magic and close-up magic. But stuff like that, just things that you get passionate about.
Yep.
And then I think you and I both, we share this thing. We don't just dilly daddle. We go deep. We dive in deep. Because if we go hard or go home, and you get to really experience and network with people in that community, whatever it is that gets you excited. So yeah.
Yeah, the magic thing is funny because I do magic all the time as a hypnotist. I was doing that, but at the same time, I was always had a deck of cards. I was always doing coin
Ah,
trick. I was always doing that. Yeah, my
dude,
my grandkids come over and they're always like, "Do magic trick," and I'm like, "Oh God, here we go. Here,
that's
give me
cool.
give me give me this rubber band. Let me watch." So, but yeah, it's awesome. So I love the fact that what you're saying, everything that you've done, it's all in freaking become a master. Like you have this quest, this thirst to go. I'm gonna freaking make this. I'm gonna be the best at it, the best I can possibly, or my company is gonna be the best at travel or customer service, or like I love that about you. Like it's either if you're gonna do it, freaking do it. You know?
Well, here's one tip for people, because I mean, this carries to everything. So, like, this carried to tennis. I started playing tennis. Same thing, right? I didn't want to. But, guys, here's a little secret. You can get pretty decent at pretty much everything relatively quickly. And I'm not talking in a week, but put in 3, 4, 6 months, 9 months, you'll get decent at it. You'll get to here. You'll get to a 7. Now, to get from a 7 till a 10, that's when you got to put in the years.
Yeah.
All right. But you don't all have to be a 10. But hey, let's get to 7s. Let's be really good at whatever drives us. Because why not? Like, otherwise, and it hurts. It's painful. It sucks. It's hard in the beginning, but there's that breakthrough. And guys, same thing like building a business.
Yep.
You go out there, you make calls, this, that, you get rejected, and then boom, there's a positive. And then everything switches, right? So same thing with everything. Learning guitar, learning chords. My daughters play piano. They're now learning acoustic guitar. They got 9-year-old fingers, man. They're delicate. They're soft. They're subtle like a baby. So I mean, my fingers get calloused from the string. So same thing, But I know in 2-3 months they're gonna have that. Oh wow, that just happened. And from that point on, you get good really, really fast, and then you plateau. But guys, look for skills, develop talents, anything that involves a skill or getting better at something. It's more than just that craft. You're becoming better as a person, and it's making you a better person.
Yeah, that discipline, that focus. I mean, that the intention, like all of that is just so perfect. It's so funny you said ukulele earlier because I'm literally on this screen over here looking at a ukulele because I heard this guy playing it and it sounded like very Egyptian kind of Arabic
Yeah.
sound, like that bing, 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 whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I got to have that sound in my house, so I'm going to go get a ukulele and try to duplicate that sound. And yeah, it's going to be frustrating because there's only four strings versus six, and my hand's going to be all of. But
Yep.
that's
Yep.
life, you guys. This is life, though. This is that growing and learning and learning and growing. Because if you're not learning or growing, then what are you doing? Like, what are
Well,
we
I'll
doing
tell you
here?
something too. If you're not struggling, if you don't have a challenge, like Tony, that challenge that you're going through right now,
Yeah,
that is the exciting moment. And my friend, that's what's keeping you young.
yeah,
All right. What keeps you young is taking on and embarking new challenges and treat them as a child. Just like when a kid goes to school and they can't figure out, guys, let's just stay kids. We're all kids. We've just forgotten what it's like to be kids, right? So kids take on new things. Yeah, they do have more malleable brains. They do. But let's not use that as an excuse. It's like everybody uses, I mean, guys, it's so easy to come with. I have a lot of friends my age in their 40s, some in their 50s and older. And oh, yeah, wait till you hit this, wait till you hit that, wait till you hit this. And then I go see people out there. There's leaders in this company, in their 50s that look unbelievable. Tony, you're a prime example. I
I'm
mean, you're in amazing shape, amazing energy. So it's like, yeah, you probably have always been like this,
mhm,
but you've also never doubted yourself and never used aged or some sort of, anything else as an excuse. So it's like, same with the gym. I'm gonna go. I want to get to doing 20 pull-ups. That's my goal. It's a lofty goal. It's not easy. Most
yeah,
people can't do one pull-up. Oh yeah, you should have started. No, guys, start freaking now. Stop making excuses. You are way stronger and more powerful than you think. People don't realize how powerful they are. And that's one of the things that challenging environments and tasks bring out in people. You know, if I was to, you look at, and I'm not trying to be motivational here, I'm just being real. We're talking, we're having some conversation. You take somebody, you don't feed them breakfast for a day. Oh my gosh, I can't survive without coffee or breakfast. All right, I'm going to stick you in a forest for 4 days. Trust me, you'll survive.
you got it.
It'll be shitty the first 6 hours, but you'll survive. It's all in here. And there, you've got to train yourself to embrace suffering, embrace pain, and kind of love it. But you know what? You love life so much more when you have that sort of mindset. Because when the good stuff comes, Tony, I go from the cold shower to cooling off or warming up to jumping in my swimming pool and going from that environment to being in paradise in my pool with
Yeah.
the palm trees over me. And it's like, dude, that makes that pool experience so sweet after 4 minutes in the ice plunge. So, guys, I think what Tony's talking about is so true, man. And I'm passionate about that. I'm very, very passionate about being, like we're powerful. We've got a lot of, an old friend of mine used to quote Zig Ziglar, he was in Zig Ziglar with a car. He was in a car with Zig Ziglar. They were driving by a graveyard, and Zig Ziglar, and I can't do it well, but Zig Ziglar is like, "Can you hear it? Can you hear it?" They're like, "What? What's he talking about?" He's like, "In that cemetery right there, with those people, some of the greatest songs, works of art, businesses, world global changing medicines died with those people because they
Mhm.
never pursued it.
Yeah.
It died with those people." So, guys, we all have amazing, amazing things inside of us in different ways, different aspects. And just believe in yourself, believe that you're powerful, and pursue it. Go work to whatever it is you want. So,
I'm gonna end it with that because I was gonna ask you, for the thing, and it just you and I just you just it just flowed out without having to ask. I truly appreciate. I have met a lot of people, and this is not a brownie point. This is just me being real and authentic. I've met a lot of CEOs. I've worked with a lot of people. Um, as far as authenticity is concerned, and kindness, and um, well traveled, which is a good thing. I have not met anybody like you. You are so rare, and it's such a treat to finally my wife and I and the hundreds of thousands of other people that have a membership and or are getting ready to come on board as we expand even more, get an opportunity to actually feel that. And you are the heartbeat of this company, and I appreciate that. Like I appreciate you creating the first pulse, and we're all just, you know, in the same space with you. And it's such a breath of fresh air. Like since we've been here, like there's been no like weird conversations. There's no been like what's there's no like what's behind door number 3 and what's really like it's peaceful. It's real. It's raw. And now hearing you speak like this, I mean, you're speaking it's the words that everybody needs to hear right now, you know. And it's just, you guys, we don't have the time. We're more powerful than we know. We've got to stretch ourselves a little bit. We got to always be in this growth environment, you know, and we got to live, you know. And how better to do that than with the number one platform in the world to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So I thank you for your time. I know you've been taken away many times, but this means a lot, and I truly cannot wait to see you at the next event, which I know we have a couple events coming up. Vegas is coming up, Portugal's coming up, Turkey's coming up, and
Yep.
whatever else you've got going on. So I thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Tony. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
All right, tell the family hi and tell them thank you for your time tonight. Okay.
Thank you. You
All right.
too, Rhonda, as well, and the whole family.
Okay. Thank you, brother. Thank
Good.
you. Bye, y'all. Talk to you later.